Welcome everybody, this is Mon, and in this video I wanted to show a few bugs with mods, gears and whatnot that have been in OnceHuman for a while, so that we can raise more awareness with the hopes that the devs fix them. And to help, you can like this video and share it. You can also help me by simply subscribing. Also let me know in the comments if you knew these beforehand, or if there are more that I'm not mentioning. But for now, let's dive right into it. So starting off with the power surge mods, we have one that is called Surge Amplifier, a weapon mod. Its effect is inflicting power surge grants power surge damage plus 5% for 3 seconds, stacking up to 4 stacks. However, this mod only actually stacks up to 3 stacks. So here is the demo. I have no cradle equipped. I have essentially no gear but this doesn't really matter. It only adds psi intensity. And then as for the rest, this is just a tier 1 gun with the mod so that only the core effect works. So if I start shooting at a dummy, you see that the first time I proc power surge, it deals 72 damage. So if I just keep procking it, I'll deal up to 83 damage. And how much damage this is? Well, 83 divided by 72, that's 1.15. So it counts out at 15%. And so really, this only actually stacks up to 15%, which is 3 stacks. So if I do it again, gotta reload, I stack it up. I take a look at my stat sheet, and here it'll say the same thing, power surge damage bonus plus 15%. So this is one mod that actually doesn't work as intended. Then let's move on to Pinpoint Strike, which is an unstable bomber mask mod. So if I find it, it should be at the bottom of the list right here. When unstable bomber hits only one enemy, unstable bomber final damage plus 25%. So I'm gonna equip this. Only the core effect works because I have a tier 1 mask. And so I'm going to use the jaws to demonstrate it. So actually I should do this. Let's say I don't have the mod equipped. I just start shooting at the dummy. I'm doing 138, 139 damage. I might do it again. 131, 138. So I'm around 130 to 140. Let's just take these numbers. The reason why it's like not exactly accurate is because the jaws doesn't have like damage normalization throughout the entire area. So the damage actually varies a little bit depending on where you hit an enemy. But if I equip the mod, I believe I just skipped it right here. I do some damage. Remember, it should do much more damage than around 130 to 140. But if I proc it, I'm doing 138, 132, which is like the same damage that I was dealing without the mod in the first place. So yeah, second mod, Pinpoint Strike, needs to be fixed. And lastly, we have the Gourmand perk, which is a mimetic specialization from these ones right here that can be applied to kitchen sets. So this one is an advanced stove. So the actual description of Gourmand is dishes made at the advanced stove gain base effect plus 30%, effect duration plus 50%, and crafting time minus 50%. Now, almost everything about this perk works, but the most desired one, which I believe would be the base effect plus 30%. So now if we take, for instance, the mixed right hot dogs, so the base effect of mixed right hot dog is used to increase damage by 20% toward enemies affected by the bullseye. Okay, so it's 20% for its base effect, and as we can see for the bonus effects, I've crafted it with the Gourmand buff and the Chef buff, which is 38% for me. So were I to eat this and check out my stat sheet, you'll notice that I'm sitting at 27.6% of bonus damage against marked targets. And what is 27.6% compared to 20%? Well, that is exactly pretty much a 38% difference. And the 38% difference is literally just my Chef buff. So unfortunately, Gourmand still doesn't work after all this time. And here I can also show it on the dummy. So I still have the buff, the food buff on me. I'm going to use a bingo to mark an enemy to test it. And the main weapon I'm going to use would be the hazardous object. So if I shoot at the dummy without any marks, I do 369 damage without critting. And now, let's say I just mark it once. And now I shoot again, I'm dealing 509 damage. So what does this mean? So we pretty much go from 369 to 509 damage. And here it's the base damage that we had times the hot dog buff that I had, which is 27.6%. And here, this is the vulnerability from the bingo that gives 8% by default. So yeah, I hope you learned something. Make sure to share the video and like it, and I'll see you in my next one.